Madeleine died in the apartment by an accident and we hid her body.
We've obviously hidden her somewhere incredibly well where nobody's found her. We hid her so well that we then decided we'd move her in the car, which we hired weeks later.
Day 4, back up on the mess tray. I've gone back to the beginning with this place, and this morning I've come up the main road and I've walked every little road that I wasn't prepared to take the car down. You've still not found a satisfactory place to dig other than that spot by the main road, which I'm going to check out again in a bit. But I've started from the bottom, I've worked my way up again. I'm still convinced at the crossroads that Jerry probably would have gone left if he was up here. Just I don't see it any other way. And all the other little roads that I've been down, I've walked them this morning. Ground solid. That's even if he would have taken the chance of taking the car up some of them. So I'm pretty stumped. I shat myself a couple of times walking down one little road, and then boom, there was a caravan and a load of knackered machinery or whatever. It looked straight out of Wrong Turn. Thought some little incest puppy was going to fire out and put an arrow straight through my kipper. I could say there is a little bit of life up here. It's sparse, but it's here. But everywhere. And the thing is, it's, you know, if it was night when this could have potentially happened, it's obviously going to be dark up here. So you'd imagine you wouldn't be straying too far away from the car. A little bit tricky. So many places where a body could be tossed. I do agree with Pat though. You know, some people say that she was chucked down a well and things like that, and you know, Pat says the cartel throw people down wells. If you don't like the person, you throw them down a well. Putting someone that you love down a well, dropping a body into a well, is very hard to do. And I could believe that, because I don't think for 1 minute what happened to Madeleine was intentional. I think they wanted Madeleine and absolutely loved her. Just made some dodgy decisions, but I should have said this from the very start, but I urge everyone to go on YouTube and type in criminal profile of Pat Brown and listen to her profile on YouTube, because she will explain it way better than I ever will. But I'll link it to all these videos so everyone can go and check it out, as I might not be making much sense of all this, but she certainly does. It's like my boy DD says, you know, trying to figure all this out. It's like a magic trick. Just because you haven't figured out how they've pulled it off doesn't mean that magic exists. I've somehow ended up back at this road that I was at yesterday. See the Roccanegra in the distance. You can't see it through this, but it's right there. But I was here yesterday, and all around here, banks up. You can get a little ways in there, not too much, but like I say, the ground's solid. Same there, there's a little track on the other side of there which I've walked, and yeah, rock hard. This is what I've found. You know, I had no idea really about what it was going to be like up here, and not for 1 minute trying to discredit Pat's profile. You know, trust the profiler. She's been doing this for decades and been doing it successfully. I'm just a nobody who's come to check it out, but I'm just reporting what I've found. I have spent hours up here over the last few days, and I am yet to find a satisfactory place to bury a body. But keep going, because that's why I'm here. I mean, as much as I would love to find Madeleine and bring her home and give Praia da Luz some peace and end the farce that is Operation Grange. A lot of people might not know, but Operation Grange began its investigation with a remit that it could only be looked at as an abduction, when there was not a single shred of evidence that an abduction took place. And here we are, 14 years later, well over £13 million spent. Just been given another 190,000 for this year. It's absolutely nuts. Zero evidence of an abduction. You know, a window was open. A window is not evidence of an abduction. Absolutely crazy. What have Scotland Yard done? Nothing. Tried to prove that the guy that Jane Tanner saw actually existed by saying that it was another doctor staying at the Ocean Club, Julian Totman. That was on the Crime Watch special. Said that he was picking his kid up from the creche, but the creche is on the east of the Ocean Club. So if it was him picking the kid up, Jane Tanner's, he was going in the wrong direction from what Jane Tanner said. So another little nugget that was bullshit. You watch any of their interviews, there is zero concern for Madeleine. It's all about self-preservation and pushing the narrative that there was an abduction, because they have to control the narrative. It proved my point the other day. I got a message from a friend who was obviously concerned with what I was doing, and the message that he wrote, based on his knowledge of this case, just reeked of the McCann and media narrative. And I got a bit angry, but then was just like, this is what the majority of the world believe, because it's what they've been fed. And it's another point for Jerry, because he knew straight away that he had to control the situation, and you have to get your story out first. The night it happened, were they out searching? Maybe a little bit. Were they out searching as much as parents of actual kidnapped, wandered off kids would? Doesn't sound like it. When they should have been out searching, they were in the room, phoning home, telling everyone, getting in contact with Sky News, GMTV and all that. And then the next morning, when the world found out, you got family members stating factually that the shutters were broken, someone had come in and taken Madeleine. Well, where's the evidence of that? Because the shutters weren't broken. Jerry claims he could open them from the outside. Well, where were his fingerprints then? The only fingerprints on the window were of Kate McCann. Shit sticks, and Jerry knows it. They scripted their story and they've stuck to it. And it's worked. You can just look at the facts. Who didn't fully cooperate with the police. Jerry was changing his statements, refused to partake in a crime scene reenactment, which is just absolutely mental. If my kid was missing and I was with my mates, I'd be, cops want us to do a reconstruction, get everyone together, yeah, sweet, okay, let us know when, where, let's do it, when can we do it? And one of the reasons why they wanted to do a crime scene reenactment was because the timeline given from the tapas and the McCanns was all over the goddamn place. You got Kate refusing to answer all 48 questions in her Arguido interview. And then, yeah, when the shit was hitting the fan, they upped and left Portugal. And back to the hole that I dug in the beginning. And this is the area where there seems to be a few pockets that I can dig. So me and Gonzalo are going to get all torn up in this and see if we hit on anything. The way it's looking now, this is the last stand. I don't know where to go from here. Is it likely? Maybe. Possible. Maybe. But it's all I've got now. So, time to go to work. Paraiso restaurant, where the tapas group, minus the McCanns, had some scran just a few hours before Madeleine disappeared. Looks like it's having a refurb. Looks a lot different than back in the day. This is the little car park right on the beach where it's believed that possibly Jerry parked the car, and right round the corner there on the beach is the gullies, the Roca Negra, where it's believed she was stashed for a while, and it is very close. It'll take you 20 seconds to pop round that and get it done. This was the reception for the creche that Madeleine, Sean and Amelie went to every day. Just round the corner from the Ocean Club. I'm going to walk the cut through here to the back of it. This was where Robert Murat's mother's house once stood, Casa Liliana. Remember Robert? He was made Arguido along with Kate and Jerry. His mum's home was torn apart looking for Madeleine. Never found a thing. It's another tragic part of the story. Three of the tapas tried to stitch him up, saying that he was knocking around the night Madeleine went missing, when he wasn't. He was at home with Mama, and the PJ slipped Jane Tanner into a car on the sly, and she pointed him out. Absolute nightmare for the youth, not on at all. But I'm just walking now from the site of his former home to that, the back of the Ocean Club. You can see why he was a suspect with his odd behaviours, even though he's obviously just a bit of an odd dude. But yeah, you can see why he was a good pick, because it's 2 seconds to get here, and there we are. I remember back in the day watching all the documentaries and all that and being proper spooked, thinking someone actually came out of there with a kid and strutted across this road here. Never happened. So this is the street that Jane Tanner claims she walked down, well, up towards us here, and saw Jerry talking to Jez, and Jez claims they were right by the gate Jerry claims they were on the other side of the road, and Jane claims they were on that side of the road, nearest to her reception, but neither Jez or Jerry saw Jane, and that is one small street. So, and neither Jez or Jerry saw the guy walking across this part of the road, just Jane. So that's where Jerry and Kate famously gave their first appeal. Words cannot describe our anguish and despair. The pool where the last McCann photo was taken, the last picture of Madeleine,